Hello, you are on channel Real Books, and today we'll find out how to write a perfect descriptive essay. A descriptive essay gives a vivid, detailed description of something, generally a place or object, but possibly something more abstract like an emotion. This type of essay, like the narrative essay, is more creative than most academic writing. Descriptive essays test your ability to use language in an original and creative way to convey to the reader a memorable image of whatever you are describing. They are commonly assigned as writing exercises at high school and in composition classes. What are the descriptive essay topics? When you are assigned a descriptive essay, you'll normally be given a specific prompt or choice of prompts. They will often ask you to describe something from your own experience. Personal descriptive essay prompts. Describe a place you love to spend time in. Describe an object that has sentimental value for you. You might also be asked to describe something outside of your own experience, in which case you'll have to use your imagination. Imaginative descriptive essay prompts. Describe the experience of a soldier in the trenches of World War I. Describe what it might be like to live on another planet. Sometimes you'll be asked to describe something more abstract, like an emotion. Conceptual descriptive essay prompt. Describe the feeling of envy. If you're not given a specific prompt, try to think of something you feel confident describing in detail. Think of objects or places you know well that provoke specific feelings or sensations and that you can describe in an interesting way. Tips for writing descriptively. The key to writing an effective descriptive essay is to find ways of bringing your subject to life for the reader. You are not limited to providing a literal description as you would be in more formal essay types. Make use of figurative language, sensory details, and strong word choices to create a memorable description. Use figurative language. Figurative language consists of devices like metaphor and simile that use words in non-literal ways to create a memorable effect. This is essential in a descriptive essay. It's what gives your writing its creative edge and makes your description unique. Take the following description of a park. Literal description. There are patches of woodland in the park. This tells us something about the place, but it's a bit too literal and not likely to be memorable. If we want to make the description more likely to stick in the reader's mind, we can use some figurative language. Figurative description. Small grooves are dotted across the face of the park like a patchy beard. Here we have used a simile to compare the park to a face and the trees to facial hair. This is memorable because it's not what the reader expects. It makes them look at the park from a different angle. You don't have to fill every sentence with figurative language, but using these devices in an original way at various points throughout your essay will keep the reader engaged and convey your unique perspective on your subject. Use your senses. Another key aspect of descriptive writing is the use of sensory details. This means referring not only to what something looks like, but also to smell, sound, touch, and taste. Sensory details. I feel the bonfire's heat on my face, and the smell of the rich smoke filling the air. Obviously, not all senses will apply to every subject, but it's always a good idea to explore what's interesting about your subject beyond just what it looks like. Even when your subject is more abstract, you might find a way to incorporate the senses more metaphorically, as in this descriptive essay about fear. Sensory details used metaphorically. Fear is the smell of sweat and the feeling you can't breathe. Choose the right words. Writing descriptively involves choosing your words carefully. The use of effective adjectives is important, but so is your choice of adverbs, verbs, and even nouns. It's easy to end up using cliched phrases like cold as ice, free as a bird, but try to reflect further and make more precise, original word choices. Clichés provide conventional ways of describing things, but they don't tell the reader anything about your unique perspective on what you're describing. Try looking over your sentences to find places where a different word would convey your impression more precisely or vividly. Using a thesaurus can help you find alternative word choices. My cat runs across the garden quickly and jumps onto the fence to watch it from above. My cat crosses the garden nimbly and leaps onto the fence to survey it from above. However, exercise care in your choices. Don't just look for the most impressive-looking synonym you can find for every word. Overuse of a thesaurus can result in ridiculous sentences like this one. My feline perambulates the allotment proficiently and capers atop the palisade to regard it from aloft. Descriptive essay example. An example of a short descriptive essay written in response to the prompt, "Describe a place you love to spend time in," is shown below. Hover over different parts of the text to see how a descriptive essay works. And now, we will give you a descriptive essay example, written in response to the prompt, "Describe a place you love to spend time in." Hover over different parts of the text to see how a descriptive essay works. On Sunday afternoons, I like to spend my time in the garden behind my house. The garden is narrow but long, a corridor of green extending from the back of the house, and I sit on a lawn chair at the far end to read and relax. I am in a small, peaceful paradise. The shade of the tree, the feel of the grass on my feet, the gentle activity of the fish in the pond beside me. I am in my small, peaceful paradise. The shade of the tree, the feel of the grass on my feet, the gentle activity of the fish of the pond beside me. My cat crosses the garden nimbly and leaps onto the fence to survey it from above. From his perch, he can watch over his little kingdom and keep an eye on the neighbors. He does this until the barking of next door's dog scares him from his post, and he bolts for the cat flap to govern from the safety of the kitchen. With that, I am left alone with the fish, whose whole world is the pond by my feet. The fish explore the pond every day, as if for the first time, prodding and inspecting every stone. I sometimes feel the same about sitting here in the garden. I know the place better than anyone, but whenever I return, I still feel compelled to pay attention to all its details and novelties. A new bird perched in the tree, the growth of the grass, and the movement of the insects it shelters. Sitting out in the garden, I feel serene. I feel at home. And yet I always feel there is more to discover. The bounds of my garden may be small, but there is a whole world contained within it, and it is one I will never get tired of inhabiting. So that was all. Thanks for watching.